Speaking of the Phillies, they open with the Braves. I mean, get right into a division rival, why don't you?
Yeah.
And here are some numbers courtesy of BetMGM. The Braves win total is at a beefy 101.5. They've got the Phillies at 89.5. You got to pay a little bit more tax if you like the Phillies to win 90 or more. Is there one win total you like better than the other?
Wow. I mean, I really do think that the Phillies are definitely going to win 89.5. Take the over.
I like the Braves going over 102.
Do you really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I think they're so doggone good. And here are some burning questions.
That's a big number.
It is, but here's some burning questions around both brands. And I think if you answer yes to this one, there's a better chance the Phillies win or the Braves win 102 games. Is Chris Sale going to pitch like he did in 2016 and 17 when he was at the peak of his powers? Because the tea leaves say yes. They say he's completely healthy and back. He's had a good spring. He feels good. He's even said, this is the first spring I felt healthy in years. And if he's a guy hiding, quote unquote, as a number 3 or 4 starter in that rotation, dude, this could be a big year in Atlanta.
If Chris Sale is sitting as your number 4 starter and he can do just what he did at the end of last year when he came back. I mean, the last 11 starts, he pitched really well. So, you're talking about Strider being better, Max Fried on a free agent at the end of this year. You're right, Matty. They're going to have a huge year. 102, 101.5.
I know.
100, that's a lot of wins, man.
I know.
Even if everything goes right and guys stay healthy, 102 wins is not easy.
They can out-homer you. They can out-pitch you. They can outrun you,
102
out-defense
games,
you.
though. It's a lot.
They hit 305 homers last year. They had 5 dudes hit 30 or more, and I think they're going to have that again.
And they won 104. So you look back and look at that year. You go, wow, a lot of guys had career years, and they won 104.
So you're saying thin margin of error between that and 102.
Thin margin, yeah.
All right, that's fair. There's another great opening day matchup, and since we're only 14 days away from it, we want to preview a couple of these opening weekend series. The Yankees and the Astros and the Rangers and the Orioles all have the shortest odds to take the American League pennant this year for understandable reasons. What about some of these micro matchups? The Yankees and Astros play one another head-to-head to start the season. I mean, that's another big series. We're getting right into it.
Wow. Yeah.
Forget about padding the April schedule, NCAA style when you play Southwest Texas Acme State for 3 weeks before you get into the conference schedule. Astros and Yankees head-to-head. This is in the Space City. I'm going to get you to the Astros because you're still really close to the Yankees. Is there a burning question around the Astros that you think could define their season this year?
Well, I think a big thing is, you just saw Altuve sign the extension, and I think the one guy they're looking at is Bregman. He and Altuve have been the face of that franchise for years now. And I think watching all the Bregman stuff on, Instagram and all that stuff and what he's doing in the offseason, I think he's set to have a big year coming into maybe free agency after this year or trying to get a long-term deal with the Astros. Bregman's a guy I'm going to be locking into. You look at the year he had last year. One thing I love about Bregman, he posts every day, 161 games saying, get me out there. That's how you put up numbers. You want to put up numbers in the big leagues, you got to play. So 25 bombs, 98 ribbies. I'm looking to see what Bregman does this year. It has a big year, but you go up and down that lineup. It's pretty impressive, especially the top there. Altuve, Alvarez, Bregman sitting there at 3, Tucker 4, Abreu 5. Pretty good lineup for the Astros. So,
the Astros have done such a good job churning the roster here while keeping a lot of their stars healthy and happy. Springer walks because you had Kyle Tucker coming. Correa walks because you had Pena coming. I'm not that intimately familiar with the Astros system to know who would be in line behind Bregman.
Right.
But I wouldn't be surprised if at some point we learn of an extension that would keep him there, preventing him from even going into free agency. Because you're right, this is a big year for him in a walk season.
No, I agree. And I think, Jim Crane looks at Bregman as a guy that's, just a mainstay in that, for the Astros. I feel like it would be so weird to see Bregman elsewhere. I think the Astros feel that too, and I wouldn't be surprised too at some point if they got him locked up sooner than later.
One more season-opening series we want to take a look at, and that's the Twins taking on the Royals. Here are the win totals posted on BetMGM. We always love teams that we think can make big steps, right? Baltimore a couple years ago making that big step. Is Kansas City now, with Cole Reagans coming over last year and dominating, adding Michael Walker, adding Seth Lugo, Pasquantino healthy, are they that team that takes the next big step? So that would be a question around the Royals. What do you have on the Twins at an 86.5 win total?
Wow. Well, you know what? I like the Twins. I think they got a really good team sitting there at 86.5. I think one of the things they have is they have an ace. That Pablo Lopez coming over in that deal for Luis Arraez a couple years ago has obviously worked out for both teams. But you will go back and look at Pablo Lopez in the postseason, you were thinking, wow, this guy's an ace. 230 punch-outs last year, only 48 walks. You know, when I look at teams that are going to be in the postseason, are going to win 86.5 to 87 games, you're looking for an ace. And I believe that Pablo Lopez is a guy that's going to continue to take another big step into being that one of the best pitchers in the game, maybe even a Cy Young Award candidate when you look at the Twins. So I think that they're going to be really good. I think Royce Lewis, too. Man, if he could stay healthy, I'd like to see the numbers he could put up. Give me 145 games of Royce Lewis. I'd like to see what he could do.
I think his homer prop was like 23 or 24.5.
Oh.
They're still up. I mean, all these in the season threshold numbers are still up on BetMGM. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
He could have a big year, too.